have 3 cats, and I am totally obsessed with finding products that work great for my life and really helps them out as well. I do want to say that this video is not sponsored. These are just products that I like. So let's get into the 3 products that I am totally obsessed with. So one of my biggest fears in life is having a house that smells like cat. Having 3 cats, that is a pretty valid fear. I've had multiple compliments on my house and how great it smells and how you'd never know that there were cats here if there weren't, cat toys everywhere or actual cats in the house. I will share one of the things that really helps keep the cat smell to a minimum. It is the Litter Zero unit. Now this is similar to the Litter Genie, but after using both, I honestly prefer the Litter Zero. There's nothing wrong with the Litter Genie itself, but the biggest reason I really like the Litter Zero unit is the size. It holds more waste before it needs to be emptied, which means I'm not changing the bags as often, which is super great and super convenient. Other thing I really like about this particular trash can, basically, is the lever mechanism. Instead of pulling a handle like you do on the Litter Genie, you kind of just pump this lever and it will drop all of the cat litter and everything else into the can. It feels smoother, simpler, and honestly just more satisfying to use, if it makes sense. The odor control also has been excellent. I would even say it might be better than the Litter Genie. Even with daily use, it does a great job of keeping smells contained, which is exactly what you want from a litter disposal system. One of my favorite improvements of the Litter Zero over the Litter Genie is changing the refill bags. This is a really big deal, and I really like this. With the Litter Zero, replacing the bags is so much easier than the Litter Genie. So the Litter Genie has 2 different systems, 2 different types of waste systems. And with the one, you have to pull the top off, but it's a little difficult to pull the top off of it. And with the other, you have to flip the can upside down to get to the trash bags and replace it. But with the Litter Zero, it is a lot easier because you are also changing it through the top, but removing that top is so much simpler. It doesn't need to snap in place, and it's just for my ADHD and me wanting things to be as easy as possible. I love that so much more. The Litter Zero does have one thing that I don't like about it that the Litter Genie is really good with. The trash bags have no indicator to let you know when you're close to the end of the roll, which is a bummer. More than once, I have gone and tried to scoop the litter only to realize I'm on the last bag. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something I'd love to see them improve someday. If you're trying to decide between the Litter Zero and the Litter Genie, I personally would pick the Litter Zero. It's larger, it's easier to maintain, easier to reload, and I personally prefer the lever design. There is also a door on the front that you can open very easily to clean it all out. It's just so much easier. It's one of those products that just makes a small daily task a little easier, and over time those improvements really add up, especially with 3 cats. The next product I want to talk about, I'm not sure how to pronounce their brand name, so I apologize if I get it wrong, but it is the SeePet Litter Lens camera, and I really want to talk about this camera because I really love it. It's SIIPET, SeePet Litter Lens camera, and it is in the shape of a little owl, and it is the cutest thing in the world, and it has become my favorite piece of technology that I have in my house. I recommend this camera to pretty much every cat owner if you can afford it, especially if you have multiple cats or if you have an automated litter box. And I will explain why in a minute. I have 3 cats, and keeping track of who's using the litter box and whether their bathroom habits have changed is not always easy. I'm not watching their every move, so I don't know who was going to the bathroom when. That is where the Litter Lens has been incredibly helpful. This camera uses AI to track each individual cat, and this is not the bad AI that people don't like. This is an actual artificial intelligence that learns each pet and can track which pet it is, and it's very helpful. You do have to spend a little bit of time training the AI at first, but once it's learned your cats, it can tell them apart and track each cat's litter box activities separately, and it's absolutely amazing. One of my favorite features is that it alerts you to potential potty anomalies. If one of your cats suddenly starts using the litter box more often, less often, or has other unusual bathroom habits, the app can flag those changes for you and tell you. Since changes in litter box behavior can be one of the first signs that something may be wrong with your cat, having those insights gives me a lot of peace of mind. And while I think this camera is useful for literally any kind of litter box, I really recommend it if you have automated litter boxes. And this is kind of a tangent that I'm going off of for a minute. So one of the biggest criticisms about automated litter boxes that veterinarians, feline behavior experts, and other people have is that you tend to lose visibility in your cat's bathroom habits because you're no longer scooping every day. That means it's easier to miss subtle changes that could point to a health issue. Now, there are some litter boxes that are pretty good at tracking your animal's bathroom habits, but most automated litter boxes, they don't really track things properly. It's just easier to miss subtle changes that could point to a health issue. The Litter Lens really helps bridge that gap by monitoring those habits for you. And that is why I really think this is a camera that you should purchase with an automated litter box. Another thing I like about it is that it is completely wireless. So you can mount it to a wall, you can attach it directly to a moving automated litter box. Just like with anything in the world, there is an optional subscription for this camera, but it's actually reasonably priced for what you get. But that said, even without the membership, the camera still tracks your cat's litter box habits. So it's still a useful product, even if you don't want a monthly subscription. Overall, I think this is one of the smartest pieces of pet tech that I have in my home, and I do think it's really worth the investment. Whether you have one cat or several, it gives you valuable insight into their habits and into their health without adding any extra work to your daily routine. So the last product that I want to talk about, I swear by these things. This is one of the products that I get asked about the most. It's the SureFeed Microchip feeder. They are a little on the pricey side, but they're honestly one of the best investments that I've made for my cats. And as somebody with ADHD, they're a huge quality of life improvement. I don't have to constantly supervise meal times or remember who's eating whose food. Once everything is set up, the feeders handle it for me. One of the fun things about cats that many people don't know is they actually benefit way more when they have 5 small meals throughout the day, which is why so many cats are grazers. The problem with grazing is pretty obvious. Grazing can quickly turn into a problem where one cat is eating everybody's food, and nobody likes that. For my household, that's not just annoying, it actually can become a health issue. Each of my cats has a different diet, and Pixel is actually allergic to what feels like just about everything. If she gets into one of the other cats' food bowls, especially Monroe's, since he has chicken in his food, she's going to have stomach issues. So keeping everyone eating only their own food is extremely important. So that's exactly what these feeders can solve for me. So how these feeders work, they read your cat's microchip. And that microchip can be an implanted microchip that many animals have, or it can be a compatible RFID collar tag, and it only opens for that specific microchip. They only have access to their own food. And the controls are pretty simple. There are just 3 buttons. One to manually open the lid so you can take the food out and do whatever you need to do, one to pair a new microchip, and one to activate training mode. A lot of cats really benefit from the training mode. Mine personally did not need it. If you have a cat that's a little more scared of changes, especially ones with a cat feeder that might make a little bit of noise, I highly recommend using the training mode when you first introduce the feeder. So instead of the lid being fully closed right away, it gradually closes a little more over several days. So that gives your cat plenty of time to get comfortable with the movement and learn that the feeder opens just for them. And I'm sure you can find videos about it online on how it works. I personally never needed to use it, so I'm not sure how well it works, but that is an option for people's cats who might be a little more on the skittish side. Another feature I personally really appreciate is that the lid seals fairly well when it's closed. I live kind of in a country-ish area, and we get a lot of flies, a lot of ants, and keeping cat food out is like having a buffet for ants. But with having the lid on all of their food, that really keeps ants and flies to a minimum. But yeah, if you have multiple cats, a cat on a prescription diet, a food thief, or a cat with allergies like Pixel, I honestly can't recommend these feeders enough. They've completely eliminated the stress of managing mealtime in my house, and I genuinely don't think I would ever go back to regular bowl. bubbles. Those are my favorite products that I use with my cats every single day, and I highly, highly recommend them. If you own any of those products, tell me what you like about it down below. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel for more cat content as I start adding more. But before I go, I want to talk about this. Hello. So I have been making some cat merch for my little cat family. If you guys are interested in purchasing any merchandise from me, that will be on my website, and I will have that link in the description below. I am still working on making new things over there, so just bear with me as I add more on. I love you guys. Hope you have a great day. Bye.